You might have heard whispers in the coin collecting world that a small bronze coin from Australia, the humble 2-cent piece, could be worth not just a few dollars, but maybe millions. It sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today, we're diving deep into the Australian 2-cent coin. Could this little lizard coin actually hold secrets that could make it incredibly valuable or even worth millions? Stay with me until the end, because the truth about this coin's real worth might shock you. Let's start with its design. On the front side, known as the obverse, you'll see a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. But depending on the year, that portrait changes. From 1966 to 1984, it's the design by Arnold Machin, showing a younger Elizabeth wearing a tiara. From 1985 until the coin was withdrawn, you'll see the Raphael Maclauf portrait, with the Queen wearing the royal diadem. Circling the coin are the inscriptions Elizabeth II and Australia, along with the year of minting. Now, flip the coin over to the reverse side, and you'll see one of the most iconic images in Australian decimal coinage, the frilled neck lizard. It's a remarkable design by Stuart Devlin, who created all of Australia's decimal coin reverses. The frilled lizard sits proudly behind the bold number 2. And if you look very closely near the base of the lizard, you'll usually spot the tiny initials SD. Those initials are Devlin's signature, and, as we'll see later, sometimes their absence makes a coin very valuable. It's a design that's simple, elegant, and deeply connected to Australia's natural heritage. But the real question remains: how much is this coin worth? Could it really be hiding a value in the millions? Let's start with the basics. The Australian 2-cent coin was minted in massive numbers between 1966 and 1989, with hundreds of millions struck. That means in everyday circulated condition, most examples are worth exactly what you'd expect, just 2 cents. So if you find one in your old change jar, chances are it's not going to make you rich. But here's where things get interesting. Collectors don't just look at the date, they look for condition and varieties. A scratched, worn, or dirty coin will never be worth much. But a coin that looks as if it just left the mint, sharp, shiny, and flawless, those are the coins collectors love. A nice uncirculated 2-cent piece might sell for 50 cents to $1, sometimes a little more depending on the year. And when we move into rare varieties and errors, that's when the real excitement begins. Take for example the famous 1968 No SD 2-cent coin. On this variety, the designer's initials SD are completely missing. These coins are scarce, and collectors are willing to pay handsomely. In fact, a certified high-grade example sold at auction for around $887. Another standout is the 1981 No SD error, also highly sought after by collectors. Depending on grade and demand, these can sell for several $100s. And it doesn't stop there. Like all coins, the 2-cent can also have rare mint errors, off-center strikes, double strikes, or being struck on the wrong metal planchet. Such unusual mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a small treasure, sometimes worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now let's answer the million-dollar question, literally. Can an Australian 2-cent coin really be worth millions? The answer is no. Unlike ultra-rare coins such as the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1913 Liberty Nickel, the Australian 2-cent was minted in huge numbers, and no known example has ever sold for anywhere near $1 million. But, and this is important, some examples, especially the No SD varieties or dramatic mint errors, can absolutely fetch hundreds or even over $1,000 at major auctions. That's not pocket change for a coin that once bought you a lollipop. So what's the takeaway? If you've got an Australian 2-cent coin, it's not going to make you a millionaire. But if it's in pristine uncirculated condition, if it has a rare error, or if it's one of those famous No SD pieces, then it could definitely be worth more than just a couple of cents. And who knows, if you find the right one, it might bring you a 4-figure payday at auction. So the next time you come across one of these little bronze lizards, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Because even though it might not be worth millions, it could still hold far more value than you ever expected.